But I'm here to talk about oil and gas drilling in Lake Township. I've seen other townships. I've never been to one of these meetings on oil and gas drilling ever. But I have been to a lot of meetings on pollution in Lake Township, you know, and the dump.
Yeah.
I've worked on that for like 30 years now. But what I'm concerned about now is I understand that there's contracts that have been let to drill close to the industrial excess landfill. And if this happens, the possibility that we could further pollute from substances that are in that dump really scares the hell out of me. And it should scare the hell out of everybody in the township. Because the dump has never been cleaned up. Nothing has ever been cleaned up. There are, and this is on the record, there's thousands of rusting 50-gallon drums full of toxic chemicals up there. And we don't know at any time when any of those barrels are going to be letting loose. And further, I mean, another point on that is that the rubber companies who now basically control the dump have evacuated a lot of the monitoring wells, and so we're not going to be able to tell when the stuff goes out anyway. So now we have oil and gas drilling companies come in, and they want to do horizontal fracturing. And I think we know, and it's been a proven fact, that these wells are thousands of feet deep, and the oil and gas companies say, well, there's no problem with that, we're not going to affect your water table. But that isn't necessarily true, because the pipes themselves are grouted in with cement, and they use millions of gallons of water, sand, and toxic chemicals, which we already have enough of in Uniontown, by the way, in order to frack the rock underneath. Now, if the well casings blow out, or if they leak through the concrete that's supposed to encase those drilling casings, then we're going to have toxic chemicals from the gas drilling go out, in addition to more toxic chemicals from the industrial access landfill site. And there doesn't seem to be anything in Lake Township from the trustees, any kind of resolution like I'm hearing in Plain Township, which I read about in the paper, anything to slow this down. Now, I understand that at least one person on the Board of Trustees has signed an agreement with the oil and gas companies. I don't know if that's true. You can tell me. For a lease on their property for this kind of hydraulic fracturing and drilling. Now, if that's true, then you have a problem, because I don't think you can address the oil and gas drilling in Lake Township because you have a monetary interest in it. So if that's the case, and you're talking about this, I think that you should withdraw from even talking about it, if I don't know who it is. You guys can...
You know who it is. Don't
I don't know who it is, Ellis. Is it you?
Well, yeah, because I got some land.
Okay.
And I do have a lease. I got 142.
Well, here's the thing.
Wait a minute. Just wait a minute.
Well, I'm talking now. You can talk after I'm done.
Okay, but just don't act so stupid that you
People
don't...
that are, if you're really concerned, people in Lake Township, you're not going to have anybody come and save you. The township isn't going to save you if your well becomes contaminated from oil and gas fracturing. The state of Ohio and the Department of Natural Resources, which is looking at the permitting process in Lake Township, they are a branch of the executive branch of government in the state, meaning Governor Kasich. Governor Kasich is one of the biggest cheerleaders for the oil and gas industry in the state. He is the biggest. He's the head cheerleader. So if you think he's going to help you when your well is contaminated by these guys, that's not going to happen either. And we just heard that Stark County, they're trying to pass a sales tax because they don't have any money. So when your well is contaminated, don't go to any of these government divisions and think you're going to get any help, because you can't drink your water, you can't wash your clothes, you can't make your baby's formula without water. So this is bigger than money. For the oil and gas companies, it's money. Where people have a lot of property and the oil and gas companies come waving that contract in front of you, look at the money you're going to get from this. They're not looking at the big picture.
You understand that as trustees, that in effect the rule book that we have to use to play by is the Ohio Revised Code. We are not permitted by law to tell people what they can and cannot do on their property.
But you can
We can pass a resolution that would have no teeth. We can't. There is nothing we can pass that's going to prevent anybody from signing any lease they want to. It's individual residences. We are not allowed to dictate what people can and can't do with their property. I understand your concerns, and it's not falling on deaf ears. We're handcuffed as to what we're allowed to do. And you don't like it because I've already heard it, but the Ohio Department of Natural Resources in Ohio, not townships, not cities, villages, the Ohio Department of Natural Resources is the agency that's set up to regulate that. Now I understand from what you've already said, there's a lot of dissatisfaction from you, apparently, in the way that they function. I mean, I do have contact information. I'm assuming that many of you that are here probably already have that. If you don't, I've got a copy, and I'll make copies for any of you to take. And you can do that. If we pass a resolution, it's going to be kind of like a barking dog resolution that we can't enforce.
You mean sort of like you did for the sales tax? You just did that? You can't enforce that. You can't make people vote for it. But you passed a resolution that shows support. So what I'd like you to do, John, is pass a resolution showing support for the residents of your township to slow this thing down so we don't end up with our wells contaminated because of the wholesale drilling going on.
What percentage? I mean, and I haven't seen concrete numbers in a month or so. The last numbers I saw, I think it was roughly 70 to 80% of the township has already signed leases.
Yeah.
Has anybody heard? I mean, we've got a lot of people. Have you seen any of those numbers?
No.
You had no idea that at all?
No.
Not at all. Well, we don't know. We don't know.
Well, I mean, I assumed you would because you came and you obviously come with a little bit of research.
With them.
Well, I don't know who's with who. I mean, I'm assuming that we've got a
came
lot of
on
people
my own.
that are here. But I mean, these are some things that we're seeing, and then so I just wanted to, I guess I'm enlightening you a little bit. And I haven't seen a concrete number.
Well, all I'm asking is, let's see a resolution from you guys supporting people so they don't get their wells contaminated. I don't care if it has teeth or not. Let's see a resolution. You just passed one supporting the sales tax in Stark County. That has no teeth either.
That has direct reliance on us because we got police, we got people, robbers, murderers. They got to go to jail. We got to put them in jail.
Well,
it
has a direct effect on the residents of this township if their wells are contaminated either from the dump or from oil and gas drilling in the township.
Our
I mean, would you agree to that?
John's correct because we do not have any teeth in that.
But you could pass a resolution.
What good is it going to do?
What good won't it do? It'll show the residents who voted for you that you support them more than you do oil and gas drilling companies. That's what it would do.
You're either with us or without us.
Well, we've naturally got some
Are you
here.
for us or you're against us?